I love this topic of digital identity. What is my digital identity? That's a great question. According to Techopedia.com, a digital identity is an identity created in cyberspace by an individual or an organization. If that is the case, then I have a few digital identities that are all a reflection of my real world self. Each digital identity that I have is a reflection of an individual aspect of me in real life. The key difference between digital and real world is that you get all forms of me in real life interaction based on the area that you wish to address specifically. Whereas in the cyber world, you get the bits of these that I choose to offer through my digital identities. To be more specific, in terms of my digital identities, I offer 5 dimensions. Those are my SNHU identity, my Gmail identity, my Instagram identity, my iPhone talk, text, and FaceTime identity, and my fantasy football identity. My SNHU identity, including my SNHU email, is designed strictly for my educational progression. Through this identity, I communicate with professors, fellow students, and I submit all necessary assignments. My Gmail identity is my formal business identity. I send and receive the necessary information required in order to conduct business as a means of supporting myself. My Instagram identity is the dimension where I begin to let people get a little bit closer to the actual person I am. Through this dimension, I am able to express portions of who I am as a person through photos documenting my everyday life. My iPhone talk, text, and FaceTime identity is the closest dimension of all my digital identities when it comes to getting the largest portion of the real life me. I rarely FaceTime, and I like to limit phone conversations as well, but I definitely text throughout the day. People are able to see all aspects of me through this form of identity, depending on the nature of the conversation, much like in real life. I also use my iPhone in displaying my Instagram identity that was mentioned previously. Lastly, my final digital identity would be my fantasy football identity. I interact with other people through my fantasy football league, which is a cyber competition each week during the NFL season. I change up my roster each week, submit the best lineup possible in order to do the best in the competition and hopefully win. Unfortunately, I lost week 1. Ultimately, technology influences all of our identities. Digital identities have become the norm this day and age, and when we choose a digital dimension or outlet to express ourselves, we are focused on portraying ourselves in a very specific way, whatever that may be. Digital identities fit right in with the social and technological context in which we live. The technologies surrounding digital identities are deemed necessary and acceptable in society today. For example, texting is viewed as necessary. Email is viewed as necessary. Having at least one social media account like Facebook or Netflix, Twitter, something like that is deemed as necessary. All of these things are deemed as the societal norm, and people are given a funny look sometimes if they are seen carrying around a flip phone. I remember getting my first cell phone, and I thought it was a huge deal. This was before the smartphones that most of us operate with today. While I had the text messaging feature on my phone, I never used it. There was no keyboard, and it took a ridiculously long time to type out a message. It is absolutely insane to think about how far technology has come since then and how society has adapted and evolved with it. In many ways, online identities are really like a performance. Most people are essentially performing for a desired result. I'm going to use myself as an example here. Let's take my SNHU online identity. With my online performance, I hope to achieve a specific effect or outcome. That outcome is to prove to my professors that I am understanding key concepts in order to achieve a satisfactory grade on the material covered. Having myself portrayed to a public audience through various digital identities is a very serious thing. Appropriate behavior is very important. I mean, once you put it out there, it's out there for the world to judge. It is very important to think things through before deciding to display them for the world to see. We have all seen the negative effects surrounding situations when individuals have posted inappropriate material on social media outlets. I would like to end with this. If you were to look at all of the digital identities that I have, you would pretty much get the gist of who I am as a person. I work hard. I take my education very seriously. I like to do a lot of outdoor stuff. And I'm an avid sports fan. That's about it. For the most part, I'm really reserved and I like to maintain a relatively private life when possible. I don't like to constantly post things through social media sites, like Facebook and Twitter. I'm not on those. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their own preferences, and that's cool with me. Right now, I choose to use Instagram as my only social media outlet. Thanks.